Good morning, people. It's early. Gotta go over to the DMV and get in line. Try and get some registration on this old truck. It's early, it's nice, it's so cool and dry, it feels so good. A little smoky, but really not that bad for this time of year out here. I've definitely seen worse, I've definitely seen better. Ooh, a gambler, look at that, Gambler 500. Gotta love that. There we go. Sun's in my face, not in your face. So went to the DMV, that went pretty smooth. I got there at 7:15, I was 10th in line. The line exceeded 100 people by the time they opened at 8, so I'm glad I got there early. I now have an Oregon driver's license instead of a Hawaii driver's license, and the truck is registered and titled in my name. I stopped over at the home death spot. I got a little foam insulation. I'm gonna pull this shitty headliner out in here. You can't see it, but anyways, and then I'm gonna glue that in. And I picked up some weather stripping as well. That's the adhesive for the insulation, and the weather stripping is for these back doors. It's real common for this weather stripping on these to just be hammered like these are, and then when you drive, exhaust gas comes in the back and just gasses you out. Okay, got this shit loaded up pretty easy. That's what I love about these Suburbans. That's why this is going to make a good work truck. You can fold the seats down and fit a 4x8 sheet of plywood or whatever you want in here, and you can put a 12-foot piece of lumber up over the back of the bench seat, and you can get the doors closed in these trucks. So they make a great work rig. I just got pulled over. I got the new plates for the truck, and I haven't put them on yet because I didn't bring any tools. I went to the DMV this morning. I got new plates, tags. Well, not new plates. I transferred the plates off my old truck, a new license, and I got pulled over. The guy's like, your registration's expired. And I had him all the paperwork and everything. He's like, oh, okay, well, you look like you're good to go. Pretty classic. It seems like in Oregon, I see all kinds of expired vehicles and weird shit all the time. And I always wondered how they get away with it. And then I got nailed within the first day of driving the truck. So I'm glad I took care of that shit this morning. So I'm emptying the truck out. I found a floor jack at a yard sale for $5, a little cheap one. That'll be good to have for the road trip. Oil and filter, I got some hippie soap for myself. I bought some jumper cables for $2 at a yard sale. A couple of odds and ends. I'm gonna pull all this stuff out of here. I think I'm gonna pull that front seat out. And my cousin has a pressure washer, and I think I'm gonna go inside and pressure wash the inside of this truck because there's no electronics in here, and I can do that. Scored some goodies. Oh, more. Found a battery post cleaner. Klein screwdriver, that's cool. A ratchet strap or carabiner. Measuring tape, I needed one of those. Came with this little janky jack, and it did come with a 4-way. I'll have to check and make sure it fits the lug nuts. And then this is for the original jack here. And some kind of a strap. Oh, and a pencil. Oh. Yeah, you know, it's better than a kick in the ass. So getting these bench seats out is pretty straightforward. You got a bolt here in the back, one over there, and then 2 in the front. It's just 4 bolts and it comes out. As long as these bolts aren't corroded into the floor, it should come out pretty easy. The hardest part, honestly, is wrestling this thing out by yourself. It's nice if I have some help. I'll get started and maybe Trevor will come in, my cousin, in perfect timing, and he can help me get this out of here. I remembered last time I went to do this, it's really hard to tuck these seat belts. Oh, here we go. Sorry, I should probably look at the camera when I'm doing this. It's hard to tuck the seat belts through these seats. The older ones where it went right between the 2 seats are pretty easy. These 81 and up have a slot that fits in. It's a pain in the ass. It's actually easier just to remove the bolt and then pull it up through. I think that's how they did it at the factory. I have had these where these bolts are rusted in, but you know, this is Oregon. They don't rust. Yeah. God, you gotta love these West Coast trucks. I don't think that bolt's ever been out since this truck was built. All right, price of the truck is getting cheaper. Okay, watch me struggle getting the seat out by myself. Should be entertaining for you guys. Oh, is this thing plugged in into that fucking stupid seatbelt thing? Nope. Is it free? Are you free? Oh. Figured it out. Oh, shit, that wasn't bad. Okay. Of course, I stuffed it right into the curb where it's hard to get to. There we go. Ta-da! Whoa, look. Bottled water. The straw wrapper. Ooh, 2 more pennies. Don't care about those. Snow brush, probably for frost in the wintertime. They don't really get much snow here, if at all. Someone playing the Oregon lottery. Huh? Okay, I'm gonna vacuum this shit out. I was getting ahead of myself. I realized I need to take this stupid headliner out. And why am I vacuuming when I'm gonna make a giant mess? So I'm just gonna cut this and cut it up and pull it out. We'll gutter down the middle. Ugh, so gross. I am going to insulate this tin because my last Suburban I was driving around last summer with just this tin roof, and holy shit did it get hot in that truck. Got both sections out, front and rear, cut and removed. So that is out of there. That'd be great. Now I can continue cleaning. You saw I pulled that seat out. I took the cover off. I have it upside down here and it's cracked. The frame is cracked. I don't know if you can see it. You see that? Anyways, the frame's cracked right here, and that's why that back moves. So I'm gonna pull this rail off right here. I'm gonna try and tuck a fireproof blanket in here to cover this foam so I don't light the seat on fire, and then I'll weld that up. Hopefully it should fix it.
What up?
So I cut these hog rings back. That's what holds the fabric on the rail here, and so we could get to this better. Also remove the back of the seat, which was just 2 bolts on each side, very simple. And you can see this frame is broke clean in half. So we're gonna try and clean it up, hammer it straight, maybe grind it a little bit, and try and weld that back. My cousin Trevor is a better welder than me. I could bubble gum that and make it work, but I got a pro.
It's not hard to be better than you, Brian.
Oh. Ouch. So we got this fiberglass welding blanket to protect the foam. Got a pair of vice grips. Try and get you in here, let's see. I'll put you upside down, there you go. On this bottom crack, this was trying to pull together. And so put the vice grip there. And you can see how kind of tweaked this thing is. So what we're gonna do is put that weld on the bottom first, and then try and bend this back into shape, and then stitch this guy up. Okay, check out our appropriate welding gear. He's putting a coat over his feet so he doesn't burn his feet. I'm gonna stare right into the weld for you guys. My eyes. Did it penetrate good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad for just closing my eyes. And
Oh, you
having
didn't
a
have-
whole bunch of paint.
I mean,
It's not prepped very well, that's
it's
for sure.
Very well. You mean at all?
At all.
So should we try and tweak this
Yeah.
together? Oh, there it goes. Yeah, let me do that and then put a clamp on it. Okay, so we got another clamp on it. Sorry about the light. Is that better? Ooh, that's too bright. How's that? How's that? Ooh. Anyways, we got a clamp on it, so he's gonna stitch that up.
I can't see, it's too bright out here. I'm missing it. Haha.
How's that camera work for closing my eyes, guys? Completely eyes closed style.
Probably doing better than I am welding.
Well, that ain't hard to do.
Ta-da!
She's all back together. That hopefully gets rid of the gangster lean. Here's some of my booger welds on the inside. Yeah. It's gonna work fine. No one's ever gonna see it. It's gonna hold the seat together. Good enough. I don't have any hog rings to replace the ones I cut out, but I did find this in the metal junk pile he keeps around. I found this, I don't know what it is, something from a dishwasher or whatever. So I cut out a piece of wire, like so, and then kind of poked it through and then wrapped it around. Hog ring pliers are nice because they have a shape where they make the wire do this. I don't have those, so I'm just kind of improvising. And I'm gonna try and recover this seat anyways with just some fabric, like some sheets from the thrift store or something like that. So I might not even mess with it too much right now. I think we're gonna go watch some truck pulls at the fair. The county fair's in town right now. So I think I'm gonna wrap this up for tonight and then go have some fun.
Ladies and gentlemen. Just shy of 200 feet, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if you know this. I'm actually kind of a redneck.
I couldn't hear you.
I said I'm actually kind of a redneck. It's the next day. Oh, sorry about the light. It's the next day. I have the seat out of the Suburban still, so I borrowed my cousin's car, and I went to a couple yard sales. Actually, let me show you this first. I think I mentioned it. This truck has 16.5 wheels on it, which are an older style wheel, and they're probably off an older truck. There's nothing wrong with those, except it's really hard to find tires for them. They're not very common, and they're expensive. And these tires are, I don't know what I got before the battery died. I was talking about the wheels. Those are 16.5s. I found these 16s at a yard sale. I got 4 of them for 30 bucks. They're pretty nice Alcoas. I think they're 16 by 7s or 8s. So if I can find some cheap tires, that would be a good option. I could also clean them up and sell them and make some money. So that's a possibility. What else did I get? Oh, check this out. I got this little Charlie Brown couch. Like, see, it looks like a regular couch, right? It's tiny. I'm gonna set that up. I'm going to Burning Man, and so I'm gonna set that up in my camp as one of my couches. I started cleaning these seats. This one was super filthy. It was actually dirtier than this shows here, and I just sprayed it with some Castrol. The super clean. This is that stuff I always use, or the Purple Power. I think it's pretty much the same thing. Spray it on and scrub these guys. There's just filth. This is just filth. Get it clean, put it out in the sun, let it dry. I'll probably kind of duct tape this back together the best I can. And then I went to garage sales and I bought some sheets. And so what I'll do is I'll wrap that in a sheet. I'll kind of show you that process. And it's more of a temporary solution, temporary permanent, but it's a good solution just to make this look not so shitty and be gross. I got the pressure washer out. I'm gonna pressure wash the truck. I think I'm gonna do inside and out. You see what I'm doing? Okay, so I've been pressure washing this for like half an hour, and this is just the initial clean. You can see how filthy this truck is. This carpet was black. I'm just gonna try and get this initial clean. I'm gonna try and go camping tonight, so I can maybe get this kind of clean, throw it back together, and then do a real deep clean on it at some point. But I just need, I mean, I can't even drive it. It's so gross. See how dirty that is. Pretty gnarly. Making progress. It's a little better. Starting to dry. You can see how nasty these seats still are. But I got the first layer of filth off them. I mean, look at that. That is. I don't think this truck's been cleaned ever. In 35 years. And I cleaned the seat. It looks a lot better. It doesn't look so damn skeezy. Got some of the human slime off of it. I'm gonna duct tape these up like I said when they dry, and then wrap them with that fabric. I'm replacing these pins on here, the door latch pins. The bushings are gone. They use a plastic bushing. This is what those bushings look like, and that takes up the slack. And so these doors are supposed to close like that, and when those bushings are gone, they do this, and you have to slam them. And then when you go down a bumpy road, they still rattle. Now, these are a T50, Torx 50. The thing about a Torx stuff, and maybe you guys already know this, but if a Torx is really tight, typically they won't strip, they'll break. So this one is pretty tight, and I'm concerned about breaking my bit because I still have, you know, other latches to do. So a trick with these is I'm just gonna get a pair of channel locks, grab this guy, and get it loose, because you can get a good bite on this. So that's a trick if you're ever doing these latch pins on these square bodies. Did I say channel locks? I meant vice grips. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, and you can crack it loose like that, and then you get in there with your T50 and you don't chance busting that bit off, because you'll bust the bit inside here, then you won't be able to use that, and then you'll be out of bit, and then you got to go to the hardware store and la-di-da, la-di-da. So here's the old one I pulled out, and this is the new ones that you used to be able to buy just this bushing. I can't find just the bushing anymore. Now, I have read you can use PEX. I'm not sure what size. I tried one time and I had the wrong size and it didn't work. I do think if you had the correct size, that bushing would work. But these were, I think, $13 for 2 on Amazon. And what I do is I'll take the existing washers off my old latch and replace this one and use those, because the spacing should be correct for that. These bushings I've noticed on these are a little bit wider than what will fit on the shank on here, and it'll pinch the bushing and it won't be able to move or spin. And then what will happen is you'll wear a groove in that bushing over time, where, you know, these, when it's tightened, the idea is the washer tightens against the shank of the bolt, and then that bushing can move. Yeah, it's very slight, but if you look, the shank on the new one is just slightly longer. So if you take the bushing off the new one and you put it on the old one, like I said, it squishes the bushing and then it can't move. Plus these get worn where the door hits them. They wear like a flat spot right there. I've seen them where this is like, you know, the head of the bolt is in half, where they're really bad. This one's not too bad, but I'm just gonna use the new ones. If I haven't used these before, if they're kind of junk and they're like soft and they wear out real quick, I will keep these, and then I can go back in and put these back in, and then I can always shave that bushing down to make it fit a little better if I need to. I'm just doing this for ease of sake, but I'll save these just in case. Here's something important to note. On the back doors of Suburbans, the nut that this threads into is captured, so it doesn't fall out when you back it out. And I think the reason is there's no access panel on the interior here. I know that's kind of hard to see. On the front doors, the driver and passenger door, the nut is not captured. And you have to stick your hand in the hole here and hold the nut. Don't drop it, because it goes way down here and you have to get a magnet to get it out. Don't ask me how I know that. Now the pickups, I can't remember on the pickups if they're captured or not. I just don't remember. It's been a while since I've done one of those. Okay, now it shuts like it's supposed to. Just like that. Nice and tight, no rattles. There we go. So when you're doing these door pins, there's this post here. It's easy if you remove the seatbelt. This is for the front door here. Remove the seatbelt, and then there's a panel that goes here that you remove so you can get to this. These are what those panels look like. And then those panels also kind of hold this rubber in place, the seal. And real common on these trucks, these seals do this, where they shrink and they pull away, and then you'll get a leak. So I like to do, when I have that panel off, if this is tight or shrunk at all, I attend to that now, because how this holds on is just a friction fit on this seam right here. So what you can do, it's real simple. See, it's tied up in this corner. So I'm just going to undo this and then bring it up. And then kind of grab this and kind of push it up into that corner. And you'll open up a gap down here a little bit, but that doesn't really matter because that kind of drains anyways. And these also collect a lot of dirt right here, and this is real common for these to rust out right here. This definitely has some surface rust, but nothing bad, nothing through. You know, this is a good Oregon truck. It's pretty clean. So yeah, and then you tuck those seals in, and then you get a little bit of a gap. Now ideally, it's nice to replace these seals with new ones. It'll make the truck drive a lot quieter, but they're fairly expensive, and this is just a work truck. Hey guys, this is my grandmother's house. She died a couple years ago. She was 101. She was a real trooper. My aunt lives here now. I've been coming to this house. I think they built this house in 2000. It replaced their old house, which was about 100 years old. Anyways, my point is, they have some of the best well water I've ever had in my life. Now, I grew up on well water from Alaska, and it was just as good. This is the only place I've been where the well water is equivalent. I love coming to Grandma's house and getting a glass of water. Oh, so good. Gotta love water. Need it to live. Hi guys, it's later in the day. Sold a mattress, went to my aunt's house and got some stuff. I showed you the delicious drinking water. I didn't film this, but I pressure washed the engine bay. I don't know why I forgot to film it, but this thing was covered in grease and shit. So I'm gonna do the valve cover gaskets tomorrow, change the oil, and then check all the fluids in this thing. I just wanted to get it a little cleaner to work on because it was really, really filthy. Making some progress there. Let it dry overnight, and then I'll do that stuff in the morning when it's cool. It's getting a little warmer in the afternoons. It's dry, so it's it's a little hot, but it's dry, so it's much nicer. What I'm gonna work on right now is this spare tire carrier. I got the impact out. I'm gonna see if I can zip these bolts off. If they come out easy, try and snag that thing off. These guys, I thought these were push bars. I wasn't sure what the hell they were for, but I figured out, someone the other day goes, oh, those are for, what a piece of shit. Someone said those are for cones, and that totally makes sense. They would put cones on here, and then for setting up cones in the road. It makes sense. These things are welded on. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, gonna have to cut those off. Because, yeah, they need to go. Okay, it's off. The last bolt stripped. I didn't show you that, so I just took the cut-off wheel and I cut it off. Okay, I already got the grinder out, so I might as well just cut these fuckers off while I'm here. Let's see how that goes. I got my safety slippers on for you nannies out there. Oh, you hurt your feet. Oh my God. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna be a little tricky, but I'll get it. Ta-da! Okay, next one. I got both of them cut off. They will weld it on there good. I'll give them that. The welds were really pretty welds. Whoever did it knew what the hell they were doing. So I kind of ground down the lumps, and I left them. I'm not going to try and cut that off. It's on there really good. I mean, that's way prettier than any of my welds. That's for sure. Yeah, check it out. Doesn't that look a lot better than all that goofy ass shit hanging off the front? I like it. I always forget to film shit. I'm taking the light bar off. It just clamps on the drip rail here with these guys. And then it sits on the inside here. I already unbolted the other side. Cut the wires free. The guy I got the truck from said they work. I believe him. He said one bulb was out. But I'm going to put a lumber rack on this truck at some point, and they're going to be on the way. They're so cool. I like the way they look. But I think it's going to ding my fuel mileage just with the aerodynamic drag. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm going to take this off. Oh, that's kind of heavy. Ugh. Light bar off. For sale. Don't worry, by the time you guys watch this video, they'll be long gone.